What's going on? What's going on? Um, what's going on? So the the main reason why uh, I'm going live because I want to keep it a buck with y'all about this content creating stuff, and I'm gonna tell y'all how this stuff, how my experience has been in this new realm that I'm kind of going back into, and kind of just like put y'all on game on like how it's been different for me. Um, so number one, for y'all who've been following me since forever, since college, y'all know that in college, of course, I was putting out content like daily. So if not 3 times a day, at least once every single day. So with that being said, after I graduated from college, I just kind of went to nothing. Like I literally went to like not making content at all, like taking pictures in front of my folks' garage type situation before I found a job. So the content thing kind of just went down the drain. And I was kind of unmotivated and uninspired or whatever, but that was like this is like 2019. So I graduated fall 18, but 2019 was really when I was just doing content in general. So, but since I took the hiatus from like 2020, 21, 22, and then like even now, like it's definitely not where it needs to be, of course. But when I say y'all, like this content creating thing is hard, and consistently keeping content going is hard. And I think a lot of people ain't nobody really talking about that. Like nobody's talking about how difficult it is to consistently create content on your own. And of course, like a lot of people do have like the studios and cameras, and of course, like people make content and make it consistent and they make it work out for them or make it look easy or whatever. But and of course, anything's hard that you work on, that you start working on at first. But to be quite honest with y'all, the truth about all this content creating stuff, like content creating is really you have to be in tune with what you're doing. Like you can't just get up one day and say, all right, I'm gonna be a content creator and I'm gonna be a fashion influencer because I saw somebody else do it. That's not how that works. Like you really gotta be intentional about what you're doing and understand like why you want to create content. Because anybody can just put clothes on, do this, and that's fine. Like there's nothing wrong with that. Like there's nothing wrong with you just wanting to show your outfits. There's nothing wrong with, you know, you just wanted to get on there and talk about like what you do in your industry and things like that. I think that part of it is, I definitely think that part of it is important and it's always going to be something that you do. But listen, y'all, this stuff is hard. I don't care what nobody say. It's hard. Like, especially now with, of course, working with clientele, doing stuff all day, always having something to do, trying to run and expand and do all these different things. Like this content creating stuff is hard. So all the content creators that like are out there and all the people that you see that are content creating, like please show them love. Like the least you can do is of course like, share, comment on their stuff. Even if it's an emoji, just comment. Cause like the effort that we put in to make this content for y'all, it's a lot. And that's not saying that y'all just gotta do something because we do it or whatever. I think it's just more so just showing appreciation for the effort that people put in. And even the people that aren't content creators, they put in effort too for what they do and showing their life and things like that. And I'm not trying to, say that somebody isn't doing something or somebody isn't putting in effort. I think just people that you are really locked in with, that you follow because you really like their content, definitely make sure that you engage with them. And of course, you probably won't get anything back from them. And that just, that just is what it is. But I definitely think and just want people to know like this content creating stuff is not easy at all. Today I recorded about 3 or 4 YouTube videos, and that's part of the reason why I started YouTube to do something new, keep me motivated, like keep me involved with something to keep going. Of course, I still do content in general, but I'm kind of just going a whole different direction in what content I want to do. Like I know like a lot of people follow me because from college because of like the suits and stuff that I'll wear or the clothes that I'll wear and stuff like that. And of course, I'm gonna still have that a part of my. That's still gonna be part of what I do and just my clothes and fashion and wearing suits and stuff like that. Like that's always gonna be a part of what I do. But the the meat of like transitioning from things that you're comfortable with into like being intentional about making specific content that's for building a business or building a brand in general. That process is definitely takes time, and I think a lot of people underrated when they first started. Just like me, I think I really underrated like the process, and I work with people on a regular basis on this, y'all. Like I literally do this every day, all day, Sunday to Sunday. I do this every day, and it was still hard for me for my own content, and of course, I still figured it out and still am figuring it out, and it's always an ongoing process in itself. But like you won't know until you do it for real. Like until you really just go out and do like what do it and like really go 10 toes down on it, you really won't have a real understanding of like what it is. But it's definitely working for me. Is it better to hire somebody or learn it on your own? That's a good question. Honestly, it really just depends on if you have the budget for that or not. Well, let me go back. If you aren't trying to pay real money, and when I say real money, I mean thousands of dollars to hire somebody to make content for you, I wouldn't do it. That's just me. And I say that because this is what I do on a regular basis. And I say that because the effort that goes into me getting into your head and having to translate that into a video and trying to edit it to a point where it can really be productive, that's a job. Like that's literally what people do for a living. So, and like if you want to hire somebody, for sure. Only reason why I say like it just depends on you is how for real you are about it. If you're just doing it for fun or just to say that you're doing it or whatever, I wouldn't hire nobody. Like for me, I'm not hiring anybody because I have all the equipment and I know what I'm doing because this is what I do every day. But if I wasn't doing this every day, I definitely would think about hiring somebody. But I know that I would want somebody who has really been there before and like does this on a regular basis not necessarily a content creator, but someone who records these type of things on a regular basis. And the quality of it needs to be there too. And if you're going to pay somebody to do something else that you can do yourself, then I definitely would not like, if you're going to pay somebody else to do it, it needs to be top tier, basically. Like that's just bottom line. Of course, if you got somebody that's willing to work with you for free, is trying to build something and trying to build their brand and you want to put them on and stuff like that, of course, like definitely do that. And I'm not saying anybody who doesn't charge less than $1,000 for something like this isn't for real. But all I'm saying is for you as the person who's going to be in front of the camera making and going to be having your stuff being put out, invest in yourself. Like invest in it. Don't play with it. Because it has the potential to really put you in a position to win. And you can make money. You can make the money back that you can really make the money back that you're actually paying somebody to do if you do it right. If you're doing it for a business, how you gauge if someone's good at it, doing it for a business. Okay, cool. So now if it's for business, I definitely recommend that you do hire somebody. How you gauge it, honestly, it's a feeling. I think you should vet them. I definitely think you should vet the people that you have options for. Like, yeah, they might tell you the price, but really ask them, what are you getting for that? Like, what are you getting? How consistent is it going to be? Like, y'all need to set out like terms and figure out like, okay, for your business, how much money are you willing to set aside per month to make content for your business? And also figure out what does that content look like? Like have an idea in your head already before you even go to that person. And that's a lot of times, I wouldn't say it's an issue, but I think a lot of times people come to me and ask me to do stuff like this, but they don't understand, they might not really understand what they want and they haven't done their research yet. And then there are people who have done their research and they know exactly what they want, but the videos that they show me are from people who have a whole media team that has 5 different video editors and a whole media team that just does recording. So you have to understand it's two dynamics when it comes to that. Like if you're looking at, I don't know, if you're looking at a business that's really Fortune 500, like a Super Bowl commercial, and you talking about you want to make content like that, that's a whole other conversation that needs to be had. And you gotta understand like the level of quality, the level of consistency, and the amount of content that you want to put out. All of those are factors in figuring out if someone, if that's a right fit for you. Like that's a huge factor in that. But yeah, I mean, if you're doing it for business, I do recommend, depending on the business, honestly. Like if you're a barber, or if you're in a service industry like that, a barber, hairstylist, even if you like a trainer, if you are your own personal brand type situation, I would say figure out how you can make content on your own first before you call somebody to come and hire them to come do it. Like if you try yourself and you just know it's just not in you and you can't figure it out, then go ahead and hire somebody. But I would definitely say, like, if you're building a personal brand, try that first before you try to just go and hire somebody. But if you are a solidified business with employees and has been in business and have the budget for it, I definitely would say go out and vet, interview, and ask them what they have done before, and ask them, what are the terms of, and honestly, and sometimes, like, and I'll be honest with y'all, like, you don't have to do a contract up front. Like, if you hire somebody to create content for you, you don't have to do a contract. Tell them to do it one time. And from that one time, you'll know how to gauge it from then on. Like, be willing to risk booking somebody one time to do one piece of content, or just do one session of content to see how it goes. And that's a very good way to vet it, because even me, I've had people who have booked me for doing content consistently. We were in a contract for it. And of course, this was in the beginning, but I didn't understand what all it really took. And that's just something I had to learn over time, and I ended up learning that. But in the midst of that, for me, that's a disservice to the client. And I know that for people who do work with me now, I tell them up front, I answer all questions that need to be asked. Like all the questions that my client gave me while I'm in the process of learning and seeing how much it's really going to take, I've learned how to answer all those questions now. And if I can't answer that question for that client, I don't even have the conversation. So I'll definitely say, like, yeah, content creating is definitely an art. It's definitely a job. It's definitely something you got to be consistent with. But at the end of the day, it doesn't feel like a job when you're doing something that you love. So if you like doing it and you're making the content and you're doing stuff that you want to do and that you really love doing, it's going to come together already. So it's one of those things. But yeah, when I tell y'all, and first of all, let me address this. I do not have any other pages. I don't have a backup page. I don't have a second page just in case this one go down. Like, I don't have none of that. I got my page, Reese Plus Media, and Reese Consulting. They're the only 3 pages that I have. So if you do get anybody that follows y'all or DM y'all, it is not me. And that's why I got the blue check. And let's talk about that too. That's why I got the blue check, so that people could differentiate, like, who I am versus someone else that's not. Because these people I saw one guy had actually, a guy, girl, whatever they are, they actually had got like my page and they blocked me from it so I can't see it. But somebody actually got a page and like had 14, 15,000, almost 20,000 followers on it with my content. And I was like, well, maybe they got the right idea. But yeah, so I definitely am just letting y'all know, like, I don't have any extra pages. So if you do get someone, if you do find someone that, if you do see somebody that follows y'all and they don't have a blue check on it beside it, then it's not me. So, but going back to this blue check, yes, I got it. And anybody who wants to talk about that, we can talk about that too. And I did it for reasons that are not for what typical people do it for. One is to differentiate the spam pages. 2, I know that the blue check really does, and it really has helped me stand out when I do talk to other clientele and when I talk to just different colleagues in the industry. And also when I talk to people on behalf of my clients, I know that the blue check has helped me just in the short time that I've had it. It has been very beneficial. And just because you got a blue check doesn't mean that you are official or you a celebrity or you this or you that. It's not it definitely does become a status thing just because of what society has made it to be. But it's not all in all. The blue check is really to differentiate and show people that you really are who you say you are. And the way that it's kind of separated, the way it kind of is now, especially since it's something that you have to pay for. If someone is willing to pay for this and they really are in business doing what they need to do for real, then it brings everything all together. And of course, even if I didn't have the blue check, it's gonna bring everything all together. But sometimes it really does help when you do put that foot out front, when I do reach out to people on behalf of my clients or for my business in itself. So yes, I got the blue check, and yes, I'm paying for it. And if you are a business owner, I do urge you to do the same. And you're not buying followers. It's not that type of concept. Like, it's not that at all. Like, it is definitely something beneficial that you can. It's definitely something beneficial that you can use to your advantage. Absolutely. But no, I definitely just wanted to. I ain't been on here in a while, and I wanted to do a Q&A with y'all and just talk about content really quick. I'm actually recording too. Like, I actually got my camera over here too. Like, check this out. So yeah, like, it's going down. So like, killing two birds with one stone. And y'all, when I say, like, this stuff is like, it is definitely a new world for me. Like, absolutely a new world. But as I'm like really going and like learning and doing and stuff like that, like, it really is becoming second nature. What's up, Jay Grace? You all right? What's up, David? What's up, man? You good? But yeah, so I think the biggest thing when it comes to content creating now is that I'm really finding my flow. Like, I'm watching people, I'm taking notes on how they do different things and looking at angles and all that other stuff and how they post and edit and cut or whatever. But I'm finding my lane. And like, a lot of people who do content can will really honestly say, like, it's and like you said, yeah, it's an enjoyable hobby, but man, like, it can really get a little stressful sometimes. Like, it really is work, and you gotta love it to do it right. And I really think that, people who do it on a regular basis, like, kudos. I've always seen it, and I knew it wasn't easy in the first place, but now that I'm doing it and creating content for YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, and LinkedIn and other platforms, and working on my client stuff at the same time, it's definitely work. And you got to find time to really put and shrink all that stuff in there to be consistent. But also, the other part of that too is making sure that we are being intentional and giving content that we can bring value with. So it's definitely like an ongoing process, and it does get easier. It does become second nature from like with the editing and the posting, especially in this video world. But it's definitely not an easy job by no stretch of the word. What platform is best to use to promote content? What kind of business do you have? That's the first question. What kind of business do you have? Because that's a very broad question, and I get that question a lot, which is it's not a bad question at all, but it really is. It really depends. And honestly, you got a lot of people who will tell you every platform is the best platform to promote on. And don't get me wrong, yes, it really is. If you can be on every platform, yes, like, do that. I would definitely say, depending on your business and what you are doing, it really just depends. Like, there are some platforms better than others. Like, it's fair game with any platform at this point. So I mean, of course, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook is still a factor, y'all. Please don't sleep on Facebook. If you start a business, in any form or fashion or anything. I don't care if you're doing nails. I don't care if you're selling candles, if you're selling sticks outside. You need to be on Facebook. Like, I do not care. I don't care what you say. I know you're tired of Auntie and them going in your comments and doing that. If you think about starting a business and you're not on Facebook, absolutely not, because those are going to be your very first customers. Um, I got the Canon R6. I got the Canon R6. I got that jump from Best Buy, and it was pretty nice price for sure. But when I say I love this camera, like, this camera is really doing everything that I needed to do. Now, if you're looking for a vlog camera, I would go Sony. But if you want, like, for this camera, I use this for my clients as well. So pictures, video, like B-roll stuff, commercials, all the above. Like, I use this camera for literally everything. And I love it. Absolutely. I don't have anything bad. There's nothing bad that's happened with this camera at all. So, but yeah, like they asked, like, the platform that you use, it really just depends. Like, it really depends on, like, what you are thinking. It depends on your business and what you're thinking about doing, man. Like, you have different markets on different platforms, and I would urge everybody who is a content creator to be on TikTok, and there's no, like, perfect timing. There is no perfect content. There's none of that. Like, of course you can make better content, but a lot of the people who are making movie type content that's really high quality or whatever, that's putting out stuff every day, high quality stuff, they have a team of people that you just don't know about. So don't get it twisted. These folks ain't sitting up all day just making content and just posting it. Like, a lot of these people do have, like, teams of people that they really work on. And if they are just making content and just posting it, like, they are doing they're juggling multiple things at once, and they do have help somewhere. Or they just have a lot of time and they're able to do that because of how their life is set up, which is fine too. But at the end of the day, they will probably most likely tell you that, look, even in the beginning when they first started, it was bad. Like, they had to find their flow. Yeah, Jay Grace, you should have been doing that. I know you get all that money over there. Don't play. Go ahead and get that camera for real.